Blizzard Entertainment over the years has cancelled many projects. The King in the North was a planned second expansion for Diablo 3. In this video we will be going over why it was cancelled, the storyline, and the content that is in Diablo 3 right now that you may have never realized was for the expansion. Timestamps for all three sections are in the description.
Stay a while and listen.
So starting off, let's go over why Blizzard cancelled the expansion. King in the North was planned while they created Reaper of Souls, and it was going to be shown at BlizzCon 2015. The expansion was cancelled and eventually Blizzard released content from it over time with Diablo 3 patches. Co-founder and former president of Blizzard Entertainment Mike Morhaime responded to this by saying, "This was about winning back the hearts and minds of people who were disappointed with the original release of Diablo 3. The company also didn't want to work on the expansion because Diablo 3 suffered from generating money compared to other titles such as World of Warcraft." The design team known as Team 3 had around 400 employees at the time and a few members from Blizzard North. After the cancelled expansion, the team split up. Some of them went to work on Diablo 3 while planning a now cancelled version of Diablo 4 that was in the gameplay style of Dark Souls. I'll leave a link in the description below if you guys want to read more about that. A Blizzard employee said that Team 3 had a feeling the King in the North expansion was cancelled by a vote from higher executives, who thought Diablo 3 was a giant screw-up. However, reports also said it was because of a lack of available staff at Blizzard on Team 3, and the team was instructed to move on to other titles such as Diablo Immortal or Diablo 4. Now let's go over the content of the expansion that is in Diablo 3 right now. So the King is a reference to King Kenai in the runes of Sescheron. He is located to the north of Kenai's cube in the Immortal Throne. There is no gameplay role and the area has no monsters. King in the North is a title of note within A Song of Ice and Fire, by the epic fantasy novel by George R.R. Martin that inspired Game of Thrones. The Immortal Throne is also named after an expansion pack for the action RPG Titan Quest. Kenai and his people fought to defend Sescheron from Baal and his army, after his spirit remained in the mortal realm because of the destruction of Mount Arya and the World Stone. You can see he is wearing a Mortal King's Call along with what looks like the legendary Scorn Axe. However, it is actually Kenai's Scorn. This item could only be obtained in an event that only happens in the month of March. This event is a tribute to a member that passed away from Blizzard's Team 3. The appearance of Kenai is a reflection of the same character that he played in-game. Grey Hollow Island is also suggested to be content originally for the expansion. The content was pitched at the same time as Runes of Sescheron during development. The story takes place outside of the Heaven vs. Hell eternal conflict. The area was designed to have a man vs. nature atmosphere. As you can see, there are many nature-like monsters such as trees, bugs, and hounds. The zone is also inspired by real-world locations such as the Graveyard of the Pacific. It is also suggested that the Shrouded Moors and the Temple of the Firstborn would be in the expansion as well. Both of these areas launched with the Rise of the Necromancer content pack. Overall, it seems King in the North would have evolved around King Kenai in the aftermath of Baal's destruction. From my point of view, I would assume the expansion would have launched with two new classes, the Necromancer and the Druid, similar to how the Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction expansion was released with two new character classes, the Assassin and Druid. The Necromancer class may have been in development first, and before they could start work on the Druid class, Blizzard already cancelled the expansion. The reason I suggest the Druid class is because we have seen many possible Druid teasers within Diablo 3, which Riker has covered before. I will leave links in the description below for his videos that talk about Druids in Diablo 3. Now last but not least is the storyline. Now one of the things that I really like about this part of the storyline, being a Diablo 2 player and always enjoying Diablo 2, the gameplay and its story, is the runes of Sescheron. Now, if you guys don't remember, you don't know the story that well, the gates of Sescheron are in the trailer for Lord of Destruction, where we see Baal and his army come out.
Well...
So it was really cool to kind of see this area and see the aftermath of what was happened here in Sescheron in Diablo 3. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this Diablo history video for the unreleased expansion pack for Diablo 3, King in the North.